Hey, Life Groups, Keenan here to just share a little bit about Joshua and his life as a follower of Yahweh, of Yeshua, right? So Joshua, as this character in the tribe of Ephraim, is part of the assembly of Israel and on the latter part of their exodus and heading into the promised land. Just a powerful, powerful man of character, integrity, and above all, reliance on knowing and trusting and obeying and even repenting to God. And so today, whenever you guys are going through your discussion, I just pray that God just speaks to your heart and just reveals more and more the character of Joshua, but more and more the character of Jesus in Joshua. So that you guys, as you have a discussion, as you have a study around this character of the Bible, that it just draws you right into the heart of Jesus that he wants to develop in you all today, whenever you guys are discussing this. So a couple things as we go into the study tonight. First is looking at the first chapter of Joshua 1. Being able to read that together as a group will help provide some good discussion foundations that come right out of the scriptures. So as you guys read through Joshua chapter 1, you're going to see just the powerful proclamation and promise of God over the person of Joshua and also how he's going to lead the Israelites further into the promised land. He's going to lead them toward Jericho. He's going to lead them through the Jordan River, and he's going to lead them into the promised land. But Joshua chapter 1 really sets up the person that God desires him to be. So as you guys discuss, there'll be questions that are going to be really helpful to lead your discussion about remembrance, about memorializing, understanding what God's done, right? The people of Israel have looked back and recognized all of the powerful, supernatural, really, moments that God has provided a way for them out of not only Egypt, but out of bondage of just themselves. And so memorializing, remembering, having that active in our life, so important. And then one thing I do want to touch on before you guys go into the discussion around mentorship is how important it is, right? So many of us might look at a work mentor or a life coach or someone that's helps us in a very specific area. Having a spiritual mentor, somebody that you can watch as they walk out their life in relationship with God, like Joshua could with Moses, so important. So I pray that discussion and that question is fruitful as you guys chat through it, and maybe even challenging to pursue a mentor of sorts in your life to help you in that way. And then ultimately our chair time, or does our chair time lead us into the presence of God, or is it just another time to study the Bible, right? Our chair time should be a moment where we encounter God through the word and through prayer, and then we spend time with him and how it's most ultimate. And then the last couple things that you guys will discuss, and again, just to kind of tee it off, one is just leadership, right? This idea that leadership is a place of authority or a position to take. Now, leadership is influence, right? Joshua didn't necessarily need any sort of role to play. Joshua led out of a place of strength in Jesus, strength in the Lord, and also out of a place of courage, right? Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, the Lord spoke. And so Joshua lived into that. Joshua knew what it meant to live in the strength of the Spirit and be led by God, and then also to have great courage, to trust him, to be able to lead out of a place of faith. And so, again, as you guys discuss all of that, it's all pointing toward the person of Jesus. And I think it's so important that as we continue through this series of building character, that we recognize all of these characters will point us to the person of Jesus, and that our time as a group must be centered on that. It's centered on his gospel, right? Personally, out of experience in small groups, I'll just say that so often the discussion can vary from what's going on in our lives during the week to something that we're really struggling through. All of it is so real, and we're so enveloped in it, but we're called to invite Jesus in the middle of it. And so I'm excited for this week's discussion, that as we see Joshua faithfully, step by step, walking by faith, not by sight, is able to see God do the work for him, God fight the battles for him, and lead them into the promised land. And that's the same invitation Jesus has for you. Let him fight your battles. Let him lead you into the promised land and let him lead you into abundant life as we spend time with him together. So praying for you guys as you have your discussion, praying that it's fruitful, and praying that you all come to the reality of how perfect and precious and needed the gospel of Jesus is in your own personal lives and together as a small group. Have a great discussion, and we'll see you next week.